I wanted to share a little update on where I'm at. You may have noticed I haven't released a few episodes in a few weeks on YouTube. I want to explain why and the reasoning behind this. But before that, I'll just give you the most important information that's useful to you, which is I think I'm going to switch to a monthly cadence, releasing a new YouTube video once a month. And that episode will be longer, actually. So that might be actually better for some of you. But this is something I'm still thinking through. It also depends on whether I'm able to hire a new editor. I'm in the process of looking for one. Depending on that cost and so on, I'll be able to do weekly or not. This is only related to YouTube. The audio version of the episodes still going great, still delivering daily on flowstateradio.com and weekly on SoundCloud. So this is just related to YouTube for those of you who really prefer YouTube. And now I want to explain why and why we're here. So as you know, I started a freelance job a few months ago. Has been really great in terms of giving me the financial security to live my life, but also continue working on FlowState because it's not a full-time job. So it still gives me the space and the bandwidth to work on FlowState. However, in the last month or so, it's felt like more of a full-time job, unfortunately. That's hopefully temporary, but the reality is the project I'm working on, but we're coming to a deadline. With software, there's always unpredictability. I'm simply working more hours. Of all the kind of flow state things I'm working on, YouTube is one of the things I've had to drop or at least stop doing and step back and reflect on the right next step. And I just want to share with you, it wasn't an easy decision. And in fact, I didn't drop it for a few weeks, but I sacrificed my sleep. I sacrificed my health, my gym sessions. I sacrificed very important things to continue delivering the YouTube episodes. And I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago where I was going to do it again. And I basically said no. I could see the writing on the wall that I was going to burn out. And I don't want to do that. That's not how I want to work. That's not the example I want to be. That's kind of hypocritical to the message I'm trying to share here about being in flow. And so I decided, no, I'm not going to release an episode. That week I didn't release one. The following week I still didn't have the bandwidth to do so. So I didn't. And this week also I didn't. And I'm so glad I haven't because I feel so much better getting my sleep back, going back to the gym, taking care of myself again. This platform, Flow State, is about working in a state of flow or creating the environment so that you can experience flow state. Trying to force or chase and working long hours and sacrificing your health is the opposite of creating the space for flow. I think if I'm going to build this effectively, if I'm going to actually deliver on this message on this platform, I'm going to have to live the values of that message. So for that reason above all else, I'm so glad that I said no. It's great because now with the space, I'm seeing something open up as like, I didn't even think that, oh, I could just release this video monthly instead of weekly. I didn't even think of that as a possibility because I was so focused and I had the blinders on of like, I got to release every week. But now that I've taken space from it, something new is coming up and I have more clarity. I feel lighter about making any decision. So anyways, that's the context. That's how we're here. That's how we got here. I'm curious to hear from you. What are your thoughts on me potentially releasing only once a month? Is that disappointing? Please be honest, let me know. Or are you excited to have less episodes, but each episode be a little longer? Or are many of you using flowstateradio.com as the pure audio experience? To be honest, I want to encourage more of you to use a pure audio version of FlowState because I think YouTube is extremely distracting. Even when I go on YouTube, I get distracted very easily. And my whole intent around this is to create a space for you to get focused quickly and stay focused without distraction. So I encourage you, if you really wanted weekly episodes, to try out flowstateradio.com. I think the best form of this platform Actually, maybe I'll just show you. Let me open it here. For some of you who may not have seen this, flowstateradio.com, it's a web app. This is what it looks like on my desktop. You can install this as an app on your iPhone or Android, and it's very simple. And the whole intent around this is to remove decision making on your part and to remove distractions. So when you need to focus, you don't need to think, you don't need to search, you don't need to figure out what am I going to listen to. You just launch flowstateradio.com and you pick the type of episode you're in the mood for. So maybe you don't want any breaks, you just want music. So you click this and it will launch the playlist of the day on Spotify. And you don't need to decide, you just hit play. So zero decision making, you hit play, there's no video, it's pure audio. That's really the best form of flow state, because visually you should be focused on your work. At least that's how I feel about my work. So let's just show you music plus ambient. So if you want breaks, you tap that, launches the same playlist, but with ambient breaks. So for those of you who love Pomodoros, that is the audio experience. That's still going great. If you really want weekly episodes or daily episodes, that's all on flowstateradio.com. But if you really prefer YouTube, let me know what you feel about a monthly cadence here. Open to your feedback, open to your ideas. If you know any editors, send them my way. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope that makes sense. I hope that this is also inspiration for you to think about how you're approaching your work. Are you burning out? I know a lot of people, a lot of friends, colleagues that tend to burn out at the end of the year because they're just trying to push. I did last year, and I'm so grateful that I'm not letting that happen this year. I hope that's something that you can reflect on in your work as well. Anyways, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I wish you the best. I wish you clarity, peace, and flow in everything you do. Cheers.